You did hit up my sister.
Yeah.
Oh. Have you guys kissed? He's been in the dip.
Yeah.
Wait, you slept? Oh, okay. Okay. He has slept with your sister. You fucked my sister.
Yes.
Oh, this is a hot mess. This is embarrassing for Kira because she saw someone, she thought she knew, she thought she had hope or there was potential to have something with him. And then for him to turn around and say that he slept with her sister. Oh my God, I don't even know where to hide for her. I feel so bad for her. But anyway, I digress. Hey there, it's Valerie. Welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, don't forget to subscribe. Click the like button, turn on the notification bell for when I upload new videos. Leave a comment, and in this episode I'll be reviewing Love Island Australia Season 5 Episode 2. So you have Lucinda and the girls catching up, with Lucinda sort of saying that she really found Nate attractive and she also really liked Ollie. And I'm like, please don't just say names so that you put people off someone. I really want Nate to stay on the show. I think he's amazing. I think given time, he'll actually create a great bond with someone. He seems like he's drama free. He seems like he's just going to sit back and watch and wait for things to happen. So I really hope the girls are not just bringing up his name just so nobody picks him and then they just dump him and he's dumped out of the villa. And then you have, oh God, Dumb and Dumber, Zack and Trent. Oh my God. So Zack has spoken to Savannah. They've agreed that they are not in a romantic couple and they're ready to move on. Zack was never interested in Savannah from the moment she chose him. He was just waiting for her to break up with him. He didn't want to be the bad guy that broke up with her because every conversation he would ask her to speak first and then he would just reinforce whatever she said. So they have a conversation and they agree that they are going to be the leaky taps, in the sense that they'll be bringing gossip from each other's sides and then they'll take it back to the group. And it's like, why? I guess if you're not in a romantic couple, you might as well find a use for yourself. That way you're kept on the show longer than being sent home at first opportunity. So then they have this conversation whereby Savannah lets it be known that, Tia is very interested in Nate, and she's saying, she wants to continue to get to know him. And this is scary for Zack because he's very close with Trent already and he's worried about his boy, getting his girl stolen. And it's like, it's only day 2, day 3. They're still trying to grow. So he runs to tell Trent and they start to have this plan. God, Dumb and Dumber. They were sort of trying to talk each other into how, Trent could get a kiss from Tia and sort of solidify things. And it's like, that's a bit tricky in the sense that what if she doesn't like the kiss? And what if the kiss doesn't go as planned? Because they were giving each other tips on how to kiss her, whether to go in tongue first or whether to wait until she gives tongue and then he goes in. It's like, oh my God. So they then decided to get Savannah to sort of ask her whether she felt that Tia would be receptive to a kiss. And Savannah was, she didn't know. So she said, whatever you want to do, go ahead, do you. And so Trent decided to have a chat with Tia and find out where she stands. And she said she was open to getting to know Nate. And as soon as she said that, she could see that Trent was very disappointed and he looked very sad. And so to cheer him up, she told him he was number one. She did say he was number one during her confessional, but she said she felt she had better opportunity to have something stronger with Nate than she did with Trent. So I don't know. And Trent, as soon as he heard he was number one, took it as his cue to kiss her. You could tell she wasn't all in. I don't think she was as ecstatic about the kiss as he was. I don't think it went as well as he thinks it went because she kept trying to pull away. So we'll hear what she says. But he was happy. His boy was looking out for him to make sure that nobody came up. And then the girls realized, that, something was happening upstairs. So poor Nate. I hope, the girls are not playing with him because I really like him and I want him to stay. I think Dumb and Dumber shot themselves in the foot. I think because they were trying to outdo Nate because they realized that Nate was popular with the girls. So they were trying to sort of lock down Tia. That way he doesn't take Tia, and trying to sort of lock down the girls and sort of shut him out. And sadly, in doing that, what they've done is they've opened the door for Nate with Lucinda. And I am here for that because you could see when once Tia and Trent came down, you could see Nate realize that they'd kissed, and he realized that maybe she might not be as serious about him as as he thought, because he even said so when he started having a conversation with Lucinda, because he realized that why am I wasting my time waiting on someone who doesn't seem interested? If she's had her first serious kiss with someone, that means she's no longer possibly entertaining me. So you could see Tia wasn't happy with that conversation. Because she then said to Trent, "Oh, shall we leave them alone?" I think she didn't want to hear what was being discussed. I think her little heart was breaking. I think she kissed Trent because she wants to secure him down just in case Nate is taken by one of the other girls. But I don't think she's as into him as much as she was into Nate. So seeing sort of Lucinda and Nate feed off one another and how she was patting the palm of his hand was amazing. Nate's got game. He's got quiet game. He's not there to be making noise or to be shouting or screaming. He's just going to sit there, do his thing, and let the girls come to him, which I love for him. I love it for him. So with Lucinda, he did express his interest that, he told her the truth that I was sort of trying to pursue things with someone, but since she's had her first kiss, I assume she's moving on. So I am open to getting to know you. I am attracted to you. You are my type. He then asked her, am I your type? She said yes. And they were cooking with gas. It was cute to see. It was cute, really. They were comparing hand sizes, foot sizes, and it was sweet. It was just a natural conversation that was flowing, didn't seem forced. And then from there, Lucinda went to have a chat with Ollie, and it seems Ollie is half English, half Australian. So they were chatting about that and the fact that Lucinda hasn't been to Australia, and it was cute, but I don't think it was as sort of intense as with Nate. I think there was a sexual attraction there. So I really hope somebody saves Nate, as I said. And then the Islanders decided to play a game, and obviously Dumb and Dumber are the masterminds of the game. It's so obvious that the producers want there to be a love triangle between Trent, Nate, and Tia, because the only question we hear asked is Nate asks, to Tia, have you kissed anyone recently? And it's like, why would you need to know that? He's already known that because he's already been told, or he's already seen her up there with Trent. Make it make sense. If you have nothing else, just let people behave naturally. If you are not good at producing, instead of you producing something that's so obvious that even a small child could have easily produced that. I don't get it. So then the Islanders, Lucinda receives a text message to say that she'll be choosing a guy to recouple with, and you can see all the girls are nervous. Even those that had shut down their partners, saying that, we are in a friendship couple, are now worried that if my guy goes home, what happens to me? And it's like, what did you think? You turned him off, you turned him down and told him you were not interested. So why is it suddenly you're worried? You're more worried about going home than you're worried about being in a couple with this person. Make it make sense. I don't get it. I don't know. We'll see how it plays out, but it's about to get messy. All the Islanders go to bed, and I actually had forgotten about Tyra and Ben. You have them in bed, sort of, trying to make out or whatever they were doing. I don't know. I think there's now pressure to be the second couple that's kissed, or the second couple that appears more solid. Everyone goes to bed, and in the morning, oh God, hooray, there was no debriefing. I hate the debriefs because it's the same thing that they keep repeating and repeating and repeating. So it was nice that there was no debrief. The Islanders then, are busy chatting and just having conversations, and Lucinda receives a message to say that she'll be going on a speed date, and she's asked to pick 3 guys. So she picks Ollie, Nate, and Zack. I think Zack, just because he's been making her laugh, and he's really been, I think she can see that he's infatuated and he's like a groupie. The way he's excited when he sees her, he's like a lost puppy who's found his owner. So I think that's the reason why she chose him. So first, for her date, she has a date with Ollie. From watching Love Island, I've noticed the theme whereby when people go on a date and they're given options, they always choose the person they might have some sort of feeling but are not really interested in first. And so she has a conversation with Ollie about flowers, their hats, and because she was saying she doesn't want to come across as very intense or very keen, so she's going to just be very superficial on the dates. And it's like, okay, that's what you think. Do you? Next up is Nate. I love Nate, as I've said before. And for me, I feel some type of way. I don't know whether anyone else caught it, in the sense that when Nate is called up, you can see that, Lucinda is very interested in Nate. But you have Ben, Zack, and Trent sort of having a conversation about the fact that Nate is very boring, I don't think she should pick him, we've been having these, and then he uses the bitch word in stitches, and it's like, why would you refer to the girls as that? That's not appropriate. And for people, well, I haven't been on Twitter today, so I don't know, for people not to be outraged by that comment, I don't get. And for them to feel so threatened that they have to use a derogatory term or they have to call the girls out of their name I'm speechless. And it's nice to see Lucinda. You can tell even the girls notice that Lucinda is really into Nate and she's really keen on him. I think someone doesn't need to make people laugh. I think if you're your honest, true, and truest self, Nate has a lot of riz. He's just cool with it because, like, for example, he was asked, which of the girls are you interested on? And he said, I have my eye on one girl. And he was asked, which girl? And he went, well, I'm looking at her right now. And you could see Lucinda melt. And he did the same thing with his toast. So their date was actually more intimate and more personal because she kept touching him and she kept giggling than her date with Ollie. I think Ollie's just going to be a friend. That's the impression I get. Next up, she calls Zack, and it's like, Zack is encouraging the girls to clap for him, and then he has sort of Ben sort of walk him down, and it's like, I think Zack's head is too big. I think his ego and his bravado is way bigger than he actually thinks, and he's being too pompous, and he's going to put off Lucinda, because I would be put off with the way he's behaving. The way when asked the question, he sort of turns it on her. I think that's his game plan. I think in a relationship, he's always using people to sort of their words against them. I think he's good at manipulating people into what he wants them to say or what he wants them to do, because when he's asked about himself, he says, well, I should be asking you, why should I date you? And it's like, you think you're funny, but you're actually not. You really are not. And she tells him, and he tells her, you and I are going to couple up. I get that impression. If you don't choose me, then it's your mistake. And it's like, why would you be so big-headed? What makes you think you're so special? When asked about himself, he had nothing really tangible to say. And for me, I don't get it. I think if she just picks him, it's because the producers want the drama and want him to stay on and want people to be surprised as to why she would have picked him instead of Nate, which seemed more keen on. Because he said, if she picks me, then I'm going to stick with her until the end. Well, what makes you so certain? What if she decides you're not it for her and she dumps you later on along the line? Make it make sense. I'm starting to have a bad taste about Zack in my mouth, really. I'm starting to have a bad taste in my mouth. I don't know. We'll see how it plays out, but at the moment, he hasn't really made that much of an impression for me that I'd say, I'm excited or I really like him. Nah. So the Islanders get ready for the night, and Lucinda's responsible for the toast. And it's interesting listening to Nakia and Kira, because they were the ones that put their guys in a friendship couple, and now suddenly they are concerned that it's very worrying when a bombshell likes your man, and it's like, it's not your man. You told the guys you were in a friendship couple. So you are your own worst enemy. Maybe if you had paid them more attention, they would have stayed with you, but you chose this, so put up with it, and that's it. I know Lucinda had conversations with the guys, and her biggest worry was that Nate was still harboring some sort of feeling for Tia, and she didn't want to be runner-up, she didn't want to be second place. And so I think, if nothing else, Tia made her bed when she kissed Trent, because she could have easily said, no, let's not kiss, let's not make it too intimate. Because she said, yeah, I kissed him, but, there's no emotional connection. There is some sort of connection if you didn't give him a perk and if you kept going in for the kiss. So please, it's just, wordplay. So the guys, they're all called to the fire pit. Sophie arrives and, Lucinda is told, it's the moment, make a decision. The girls were right that Lucinda was very interested in Nate. And you could see Zack was sitting there with his ego, because he had said, there was no way he was going to lose. She was going to pick him. If she didn't pick him, it would be a mistake. And so for him, this is the second time he's facing rejection. And I don't know, that must sting a bit. Because I remember when at Recoupling, he was chosen by Savannah, he was upset. And then when he had the first opportunity to step forward, he stepped forward for Nakia, and Nakia didn't pick him. And even after she said she was in a friendship couple, she still didn't show him any interest. So, oh, poor thing. She picks Nate, no surprise. Ollie said, he wanted to get to know her, and, it is what it is. And she felt some type of way about his comment because it was sort of him snubbing her, and I don't think she liked that. And also, Zack tried to play it off, oh, well, I didn't want to be picked. You wanted to be picked. Your ego is bruised. Somebody give him a tissue. He wants to cry. Please, give him a tissue so that he can go in a corner and cry. So after Nakia is sent to the waiting room, you have Reid arrive. He's a bombshell. And so he gets to sit down and have a conversation with the girls. And apparently, it seems he knows Bronte's sister. And it's like, oh, what's going on here? And it comes out that he dated Bronte's sister. Well, it seems he knows Kira, and they did match on Tinder, but apparently I don't know whether they didn't even go on a date or what happened with the two of them. But then it's revealed that he kissed her sister, he slept with her sister, and she says it's only once, and you could see her face drop. Because when she first saw him arrive, I think she thought, oh, there's hope, stars have aligned and we've met, we're meant to be because we're in the same place. Only for him to reveal that I slept with your sister. I don't know whether it's true or whether he would just wanted to put her off completely and tell her and sort of shut that door because he wasn't interested. I really am curious. Did he sleep with Bronte? Who did he sleep with? I'm now curious. Anyway, the guys are busy talking. Zack is very big-headed, in my opinion. The way he likes... It's one thing to hype yourself up. It's one thing to talk yourself up. But it's another thing to be very arrogant and sort of off-putting. And that's the line that Zack is tethering on. And it seems like he's about to fall onto the off-putting side, because you could tell that even Sophie wasn't impressed. He thought he was being, because Sophie said, oh, that's your thing then. That's what you do. But I think it's coming across as arrogant. It's coming across as not caring. It's coming across as rude and disrespectful. And he thinks it's making him cool. Anyway, the guys then go back and they sit with Reid, and Reid is asked to pick a girl. And surprise, surprise, I thought he was just going to decide to be toxic and go for Kira. But no, he went for Tia. I'm happy he went for Tia. I think the producers are looking for drama. I think they don't want a situation like last season where people coupled up on day one and stayed together and decided to create this bond where they would play the system and pretend to have a connection when they didn't, just because they wanted to be each other's safety blanket. So the idea that he matched with Tia and then, and Trent had to go and stay in the waiting area with Nakia was amazing, because now she is questioning, do I really have a great connection with Trent, or is it just a relationship of convenience because he's the only person that I find attractive here? So it's going to be interesting, because Trent was sent to go and be with Nakia. They were given wine, and you could see that Tia was feeling some type of way. She was already in her feelings. I think she's worried that her man is going to go. And it's like, well, if you are entertaining other people, why shouldn't he? Why shouldn't he? You thought he was infatuated with you. You thought he wouldn't leave you, and now it looks like he's going to leave. So I think it's going to be toxic, and it's going to be drama, and we can't wait to see that. Anyway, thanks guys for watching. Please don't forget to like, share, comment, and subscribe. And click the link in my video to watch my review from episode 1. Bye guys.